Yo, what's going on? What's up, people? What's up, midday folks? I'm going to try to really bring the noise on this one. I've been thinking on some stuff, and I feel like I have something good to say. So I figured I'd come on for this midday jamboree and just try to drop as much heat as humanly possible. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What's going on, everybody? I am on the tube of you. I am on the book of faces, and I am on the Gramble. So this is a midday just zap, a midday yell. I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I feel like I have something that of hopefully great value that I'm going to do my absolute best to come out and just throw at you. So here it is. I think that okay. Now, this is just as much a message to myself as it is a message to you. This is nothing more than a documentation of an internal dialogue that I've been going through for the past probably like month to try to figure out, like I always do, how to get to the next level and how to win at an extremely high caliber. So I'm going to do the absolute best I can to homogenize down all of the things that I've been thinking about, all of the things that I've been listening to, and hopefully leave you and impart with you a bit of wisdom that I have been kind of realizing over the course of the last few months. And I hope that it brings great value to you. If you find value from this, please go and follow me on Facebook. Please go and follow me on YouTube. Throw me some likes, throw me some comments, follow me on Instagram, zip and zap, go to bobbysauce.com, show some love, send me an email, whatever you want, or just share it with your friends, or just internalize it and just enjoy it. Because I'm going to do the absolute best that I can right now to try to just bring as much midday value as possible. So here goes. I think that we grossly underestimate the importance that having control over our mindset has over our entire life and what happens in it from minute to minute and from day to day. Every good thing, all good things that happen to us, for us, around us, and every single lesson that we come across is dictated and controlled, internalized, and moved through by your mindset and your mindset alone. It dictates whether or not you have a good day or whether or not you have a bad day. It takes all the things that come at you, good, bad, or indifferent, and it allows you to process them, and then what you do with that as a result is the game of life. It is what you do with your mindset minute to minute and day to day that will dictate how your life goes. And the overarching message of all of this is that winning is a mindset. Winning every day, winning every moment, winning through life is a habit. Winning is a habit. And I don't mean just winning in the sense that you win in business, but win with friends, win with success, win with your health, win with the way that you look at the world, win with the quality and caliber of your life and what you can do with it. We grossly underestimate how important our mindset is. Every single day, when we wake up, when we think about things, when we talk about things, as we move and navigate through the limited amount of time that we have, how we think about the things that come in and what we put out will dictate the quality and caliber of our life, what we're capable of, the heights we will reach, the people we will meet, the caliber of those relationships, the success that we will have both internally, externally, objectively, and all across every single spectrum of life. It's the mindset. The mindset is the game. The mindset is the entire game. The mindset is everything. There is nothing but it. It is everything. What is absolutely certain is that we will be faced with incoming challenges that will be difficult. Lost business deals, lost opportunities, missed opportunities, lost relationships, friendships, dating relationships, family relationships, business relationships, networking relationships, every type of relationship that will come across, we will lose some, and we will be hit with challenges throughout our entire life, no matter what it is that we decide to do, so long as we are doing something. So the question is not how we can avoid these issues or how we can avoid these problems. The question is how do we process them, and how quickly do we get back up after we get kicked in the face and shoved in the dirt? How quickly are we going to realize that what just happened to us and what is happening to us is happening for us? How quickly will we realize that what is going on externally with the people around us, with the experiences that come into our life, are nothing more than a lesson? How quickly can we realize that these are lessons? And how quickly can we understand this is a lesson, what's next? This is a lesson, what am I going to get from it? This is a lesson, what am I learning? What is the upside benefit of whatever is happening right now? Because there always is one. The problem is that what happens is when something bad happens to us, or something that's not what we anticipated it to be, or an experience that we thought was going to go a different way, when that occurs and when that comes into our life, we're like, why? What did I do? How could I have done differently? It must be because of this. And we lose this internal battle with ourselves where we take the blame. We take the blame for something and we try to process it, not factoring in that there are other pieces at work that are ultimately occurring for our benefit in the end. But what happens is that, myself included, we look at the challenge and we're like, this is really frustrating. I thought this was going to go the way that I thought it was going to go. And because it didn't, it must be because of some other issue. And we beat ourselves up and we spiral down as we seek some type of refuge from whatever it is, this feeling that we happen to be feeling, and why and how we can't get out of it. How could we have been so stupid to get into this position? How could we have been so wrong about the decision that we decided to make? Whether it be a person that you know, an experience that you choose to have, a venture that you make, an investment that you make, a decision that you make in business, a place you decide to go, or someone that you decide to invest your time in. We're always just like, wait, why? Wait, how? Not factoring in the fact that this is a lesson, it's happening for us. The benefit and all of the upside comes from the mindset that we take from it and how we act next as a result. Now, the thing that happens to me and the thing that happens to everybody is like, what we forget is that winning is a daily habit. And understanding that whatever temporary loss there is right now is only making space for a new opportunity to come. It's like a door closes and three doors open, a window opens. We forget how important that is, because in the moment it's very discouraging. It's very frustrating. It kicks you down a notch. It brings you back a peg. It feels like you took a step back when you thought you took a leap forward. But we forget, and it takes us longer and longer to process the fact that this is a lesson and that there's a benefit here if we can only keep our eyes peeled to what that lesson might be and then adapt to it quickly and get ourselves back up. But we constantly get stuck. We get stuck. So the thing that I think is important to remember is that, what is a loss truly? Like, where does the loss even come from? What even is the loss? Because if you decide to make a habit of winning consistently, winning in life, in the decisions that you make, in the ways that you move through the world, and you're executing the best that you can at all of these ways, if a failure comes, how quickly are you going to get back to more success? Are you thinking in terms of scarcity or abundance? For example, let's say that you lose a friendship that you thought that you would have forever, or a friendship that you thought you would have for a long time, or a significant other that you thought you would have forever, or a business relationship, or an investment, or a business venture that you thought you would have forever. But you end up losing it. It's like what you lost you gained in lesson. What you lost, you gained in experience. What you lost in a person, you gained an opportunity for new people. What you lost in a friendship, you gained an opportunity and your capacity to attract greater things comes back to you. And so long as you have a mindset that you're going to constantly win, then it's the other person's loss. It's the other business's loss. It's that venture's loss that they weren't able to capture all the greatness that you're going to continue to bring in your life, to the people around you, to your family members, and to whomever should be retained in your social circle. So it's like the only thing that you lost was a short period of time, but what you gained was a lesson. What you gained was experience. What you gained was the ability for new space to open up for much greater things that you could not have anticipated should you continue to spiral yourself downward and beat yourself up about something that in theory was outside of your control and was truly happening for you and not to you. But it's hard for us to see that in the moment. It's hard for us to recognize the significance of these bad things and these different things that weren't as we expected. It's difficult for us to see those things in the moment, so we allow ourselves to spiral downwards and we beat ourselves up trying to figure out what it is without realizing that the greatness is on the other side of when you realize that your mindset is in control of your ability to move above this and to the next greater thing. If we could only be so hyper aware of how significant the downs are, we could reduce the time we spend down and expedite the speed in which we move up, and thus move ourselves forward to the next greatest thing that is to happen in our life. But we squander so much time wondering, worrying, being frustrated, and burying ourselves with the loss that we forget that there's another greater thing that's coming on the horizon. We forget that if we were able to attract whatever good thing was able to come to us now, and we thought it was so great, not only can we attract more greatness, but we can attract things that are even greater than that we were not even able to perceive or anticipate at that time. But it all starts in your mind. Your mindset is the dictate that controls how quickly you will advance, how much you will win, and what types of things you'll be able to attract and retain. And it will be only the things that matter, only the things that are the greatest, only the things that are the absolute best that will only lead you and result to you having consistent success far beyond anything you could have ever anticipated. But it's so hard to see that when you go down. It's so hard to see that when you have a loss. When you have a temporary loss, it's hard to see the light of how the dots will connect going forward. It's always that way. I believe it was Steve Jobs. It's so hard to connect the dots going forward, but so easy to connect the dots going backwards. The lesson will come in the next challenge that you have when you realize that you were able to overcome the previous challenge, the previous thing that you thought was the best thing, that you thought was the greatest thing, that you were certain was the best thing. But here's the newsflash. Here's the realization. Here's the epiphany. If you had something that was so great that makes you feel like it was a loss when you lose it, that means that you are taking challenges and you are taking the initiative to bring great things into your life, knowing that the risk of them going away will be detrimental, will be hurtful, will cause you temporary pain as you get better to the next level. If you have the capacity to bring it in once, that means you're continuing to take risk. That means you're continuing to advance yourself forward towards the greatest possible thing, that you're not settling for mediocre, that you're not finding things that are only keeping you at equilibrium, that you're not willing to just deal with whatever that thing might be or hold on to or grasp something that may not be the greatest thing, even though at that moment it seems like it is. Because if you were able to attract that thing once, you can attract it many times. And the way that you attracted it in the first place is the exact same thing that you will continue to attract those things in perpetuity for the remainder of your life, which is you focus on being great all the time. You focus on winning all the time. You control your mindset all the time. It doesn't mean that you go down. It just means that you pick yourself up faster the next time it happens, because it's going to happen. People are going to die. You're going to lose your family members. You're going to lose your health. You're going to lose opportunities. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose time. You're going to lose things that you thought were the greatest. You're going to lose people that you thought were the greatest. You're going to lose opportunities that you thought could have been great. But if you get hung up on all of those losses and stop and instead realize that this is going to tee you up for greater success that you can capture the next time the train comes around the mountain. If you could just realize that quicker, then the downs will be shorter and the highs will be higher, and the distance in between these struggles will be longer and longer. And when they come, which they inevitably will, you'll be able to navigate them with more speed and efficiency, because you're going to know, I've been doing things that are great. I'm challenging myself to be great. I'm challenging myself to do the absolute hardest thing that I can do. I'm trying to win at the highest level. And that's why I brought this thing into my life that I never would have thought I could have brought into it, that I never could have seen could have been that great, that I knew that I would get one day, that I knew that I would attract one day, but I wasn't sure how. But here it is. And now it's gone. But what comes next? That's the whole thing. In the whole game, in the whole scheme of it all, if you brought it in once and you were doing the right things all the way up until that point, then you just have to, keep doing those things consistently going forward, and more of that greatness will come in. And as it comes in, you will look around at the things that you lost and you'll be like, oh my God, thank God I lost that. I can't believe that I was so hung up on what I thought was a temporary loss that was really the most significant gain. That was really the most significant advancement forward that I absolutely needed at that very right time, at that very right moment. And if it happened any other way, it wouldn't have been as perfect. That's the lesson. It's like, it's perfect. Just like it is. The way that it sucks is there to teach you. The way that it sucks is the lesson. The way that you navigate through it and the mindset that you maintain as you're processing the lesson will dictate how quickly you can get from bad to good, how quickly you can go, I got to get back on this. I got to get back up. I got to get back into the game. I got to find my next home run hit. I got to get up to bat again. But we get lost and we get worked up, and it's hard to process. And all things are going to be like that no matter what, in perpetuity for the remainder of your life. Doesn't matter how much success you have or how much money you have or how much advancement you have, you will always get kicked in the face. The question is will you be able to have the mental strength and mindset and fortitude prepared ahead of time to understand that when you get kicked in the face, that you'll go from the bottom, from getting up off the ground faster, better, stronger, and you'll be able to figure out and navigate your way through whatever the lesson is faster. That is wisdom. That is winning. That's the winning mindset. That's a life of success. That's greatness embodied, is your ability to get kicked in the face and get back up, and understand that in all of the things that you can control, you're winning at them. Did you work hard today? Did you think right today? Did you take care of your health today? Did you prioritize today? Did you take care of the things that you can control? And did you cultivate more greatness in all of the ways that you can? Are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you working as hard as you did yesterday? Are you making incremental improvements that even if one piece goes down, that you see all the others still going up? Are you leaving your days knowing that the next day will be better as a result? Are you setting yourself up, and are you teeing yourself up for great continued lifetimes of success? That is the question. Now, there have been a couple times in my life that I've lost friends that I thought that I would have forever. And I know that everybody has lost a relationship that they thought that it had forever. And it's like, why though? I can't believe that this could happen. I can't believe that this could go this way. But the reality is that people come in and out of our life in theory until they can teach us something. And it's the ones that really truly matter. It's the people that are running at the same speed as you. It's the ones that are executing and operating at the same level as you that will run along with you despite whatever challenge happens to come your way or their way. The real heads, the true heads, surface themselves over durations of time based on the level of greatness that you're trying to achieve and the level of greatness that you are embodying day to day. The way that you say things, the way that you think, the way that you affect their life, and the way that they affect your life. And the fact of the matter is that if you are giving a disproportionate amount of good to the amount of good that you're getting back, you will naturally advance ahead, or you will naturally break apart. And even though you think that that's what you need to have, it's actually better without it. But it's so hard to see because you don't understand that the pace that you're moving and the execution that you have and the direction that you're going in life, it only attracts what it requires in order to grow, unless you settle for something that is not up to your caliber. That could be a friend, that could be a relationship, that could quite frankly be any behavior in life that you choose to take from minute to minute and day to day. And if you were to force it because you thought that it was right, or if you were to get hung up on the fact that you may have lost this friend, you're missing out on the opportunity for the new friend to come in, for the new friend to take that space, for the phone call that you were going to spend talking to one person to talk to another person, for the time that you were going to spend drinking at the bar to be spent sitting at the library, or whatever is the case, in just the right way, at just the right time, that will advance you in just the right pace for you to succeed at the greatest level, so long as you are in control of your mindset, you are in control of your success, and you know that you will never stop winning, no matter who sees it, when they see it, how they see it, if they know it. The only thing that matters is that you know it. The only thing that matters is that you're sure that you're going to win all the time, that you're going to gun for success all the time, that any other person's life would be far greater with you in it. And as long as you know that, and as long as you're certain of that, and as long as every single day, despite when you get kicked in the mouth, you step up to the plate and say, every single person that comes into my life that needs to be there will gain greatness as a result of me being around them. And if they're not giving that same degree, that same level of power to me that I'm giving to them, they will naturally fade away. Mindset and doing things that are great is a magnet. And sometimes it intimidates people, and sometimes people feel like they're not on the same level as you, and sometimes people feel like you're different, or they don't understand it, or that you're X, Y, or Z. But really, the only thing that matters is that someone that operates at a level, at a strength equivalent to yours will only see that greatness within you and will act accordingly, because they understand that this makes them better and that they can make you better, and that's how you win collectively. So it's like, it's magnetic, and we look for like advice, and we look for guidance as to how we're supposed to navigate this unique experience that is only our own. We find ourselves comparing ourselves to other people, comparing our relationships to other relationships, comparing our progress to other people's progress, where the true only comparison is a comparison against your previous self. Are you around better people? Are you doing better things? Are you earning more money? Are you attracting more power into your life? Are you doing things that are more successful than you did last week? Are you doing more things that advance you at a more rapid clip towards the absolute greatest version of yourself? Because if you're running at 100 and someone else is running at 99, it won't be long before you're miles ahead of them. And at first, it looks like you're the same. I'm going 100, you're going 99. And for the first couple miles, we're right neck and neck. But after a couple 100 miles, you're 10 miles behind me, you're left in the dust, and you're not there. And that's the thing, is we try to hang on. And what we're doing is we're slowing down. We're slowing down. It's just 1 mile an hour. It's just 1 mile an hour. I'm going to slow down just 1 mile an hour so that I can stay neck and neck with this person, not understanding that decision or that relationship that we're around is going to trip us up. But it's hard for us to see because we Because when you believe that you make the right decisions, and when you have confidence in the things that you do, not that you don't have fear, but you have confidence, you have no doubt. When you have no doubt that greatness is for you consistently forever throughout your life, when you have no doubt that you will consistently win no matter what, when you have no doubt that you'll always show up, that you're always going to gun for the absolute best version of yourself, no matter what, no matter whether anybody sees it, no matter what, whether anybody celebrates it, whether there's any reward at all other than within yourself, when you know that that's what you're going to do, you don't need anyone to see it but yourself. And the people that come into your life will be able to understand the significance of that, the significance of that power that you have within yourself, and they will be there throughout those ups and downs as you navigate through to the greatest version of yourself. And if they don't see it, or if they're not on that path, or if they're not on that level, or if they haven't gotten there yet, you're better off without them. But it's so hard to see that. And it's not just about people, and it's not just about relationships. It's really about anything. It's really about like how we spend our time. Because there's been times where I'll have a friend or something, and I'm like, why is this, like, I thought I would have this friend. I thought I would have this friend forever. Why is this not happening this way? And it's like life happens for us, not to us. Tony Robbins, life happens for us, not to us. It's like you don't even know what space and what people and what experiences you're missing out on as a result of you hanging on to something that had great significance at some time. Because if you think in terms of abundance, if you think in terms of perpetual greatness, if you think in terms of I will always win forever because I'll never give up no matter what, and I'm putting everything I got on the table all the time as best as I can right now and continuously, if you know that, then what's the loss? There is no loss. You can't lose. Because the loss is a lesson. The challenge is the lesson. The down that you feel is where the gains are made. The pressure, the uncertainty, the difficulty of processing a transition is where winners are made. Your ability to navigate those challenges quicker each time makes you more resilient and makes your ability to attain uncommon goals much more likely as you navigate through life. In business, in the richness of your days. And I think most importantly, in the quality and caliber of the people that you spend your time with. Because just because you think it's right, and just because it seems right, and just because you don't understand why it isn't right, just means that you're not seeing the lesson yet. And our ability to recognize these downs and find the lesson quickly, get back up and start doing that thing we do, which is execute at the highest level all the time, is the difference between us getting greater in 1 year or getting greater in 10 years. I was watching this quote from Elon Musk yesterday, and he was talking about innovation. And he was talking about he goes, if you innovate in business 100%, but it takes you 50 years to do it, how is that the same as innovating 100% in 1 year? The speed of innovation is far more important than the degree that you innovate over the long term. It's how quickly do you navigate this current challenge and become more resilient for it the next time it comes, because it will come. It's like all the friends that you lost, all the relationships that you lost, fortified your ability to have greater relationships going forward. Better friendships, richer friendships, better relationships, richer relationships, because you'll be able to not only identify the things that are great in other people, but you'll be able to quickly identify whether or not those people are operating to the degree that you want to operate at. Because it's about speed. And I talked about this. I talked about this on my live stream, I think the other day, where I was talking about how if you go to visit somebody for a week and you stay at their house, how much you adapt to their way of thinking, to the way that they navigate through their life. And it's like, I think about when I used to go to business conferences all the time. I used to go to web development business conferences. And every guy at these business conferences was pumping their own book, lying about how much money that they made, gassing themselves up. They were fat, out of shape, maybe had a lot of money, or at least they said they did. Low quality relationships, but they were the gurus. And what did we do at these conferences? Stay in a hotel, eat an unhealthy dinner, eat unhealthy snack food, sit inside all day, talk about money, but no one ever really talking about like life, right? Now, the other week I go to FitCon in Texas. The people you hang out with, it's like, yo, let's hit the gym. You get in, you burn 900 calories on the treadmill in the morning. You burn thousands of calories working out at the gym. You get stronger. Other people at the gym winning, bettering themselves, forging relationships. The same networking event was far more rich with all these people that just win. They just win all day. They exercise. They're winning at their health. They're winning at their relationships. They're happy people. They're uplifting each other. They're talking about winning at the game of life. It's not about the game of business. It's the whole thing in totality. So it's like a business conference isn't a business conference isn't a business conference. It's the people and the activities and the actions that you take throughout that process. On that FitCon trip, the first night I was in the gym. The second morning we were in the gym, shredding it, pushing it super hard. When we went to the event, everybody was up and about, moving, talking about fitness, talking about their health. You see people that are in peak physical performance. There's people exercising. The next day, it's like everybody's moving. There's action. People were lifting that morning, pumping that morning, drinking drinks that are healthy, eating food that is healthy. And it's like people that choose to win. And it's like you go around these people that choose to win, it makes you want to win. It makes you want to win more. It causes you to elevate yourself beyond your current state. And it's like there's probably many business conferences that went on in the same weekend. Should you choose to surround yourself with the people that are at that conference? Should you choose to put yourself in that environment? Should you choose to hang out with and speak to people that operate at that level? That 3 days of time is that much higher elevated. And then the next decision that you make is that much higher elevated. It's about the people, and the people only come by you exercising and executing at that mindset first. The preparation is done in the gym. The preparation is done in the darkness when nobody's looking. The preparation is done off the field. It's when you get there on Friday night that you know that now that the lights are on you and people are looking at your direction and the clock's about to start and the game's about to begin, you already know that you won because you put in that work. And the same thing happens in life. The same thing happens in relationships. The same thing happens in business. It's like, are you gunning for greatness? Are you surrounding yourself with things that will make you win in perpetuity forever? And it comes by thinking it, executing on it, being around it, thinking that way. So when you surround yourself with people that way, that you're not scrambling to prepare to see the world the way that they see it. You've been doing it, and they recognize that greatness within you. And that's how you attract, maintain, and cultivate those relationships, because they see your greatness just in and how you carry yourself, how you think about things, whether or not you want to go to the gym or go to breakfast, whether or not you want to stay up later to talk shop, whether or not you want to work on something, collaborate something, put two things together, make 1 + 1 = 3. People feel that. It's palpable. They understand, and it attracts things to you that are greater than the things that are around you now. Excuse me. So it's like, think that way, be that way, execute that way, magnetize people, make decisions that bring greatness to you, make decisions that put you in positions where greatness can happen. Put yourself in a position where you can execute on generating luck. And then when you win, you get up the next day, you do it again. That's the thing. It's like winning is monotonous. Success is monotonous. Winning is a habit. Success is a habit. Great life is a habit. Great people is a habit. These things come as a result of consistent greatness. And when you're down and when you're beating yourself up over some external thing that you may or may not have been able to control, you are missing out and squandering otherwise productive time that could be getting you closer to the greatest version of yourself. But you're worried and hung up on the loss. You're worried and hung up of the external when you're not winning the mindset, when you're not being real with the problems that you have and real with the shortcomings that you have that may have even caused this thing to happen. And you start to work on those things. You start to advance yourself towards the progress that's going to come as a result of this down. It's like, what habits brought me that great thing? If I do them better, faster, stronger, if I innovate through those habits towards greater things next, will I be able to bring more of those things into my life at a more expeditious rate? And the answer is yes. But we beat ourselves up because of temporary loss. Not even understanding that it's not a loss at all. It's a lesson. All of the greatest and most difficult moments, all of the greatest advancements forward that I've ever had in my life, and I would assume that most people have in their life, come at the tail end of a great failure, of a great discouraging moment, a discouraging happening, a frustration that causes you to strip down all of the unnecessary, the thing that you thought would be a way, and focus on only the things you can control and getting better at as many things as you can. It's like, it almost, if we could only be so wise, if we could only have the wisdom and fortitude to understand when the next one comes, that it's a gift. If we could only understand that in the moment, we wouldn't go down as far. We wouldn't beat ourselves up so much because we know that it's there to teach us, right? But we're like, the rate in which we can identify it down, the significance and lesson from it, the faster we'll get and the further we'll get to our greatest purpose in life. But we have to be mentally strong enough to understand that those things will happen, the down will come, the struggle is inevitable, The challenges are inevitable, but how quickly will we identify the lesson, and how quickly will we remember as we're getting kicked in the face that this is the way that it's supposed to be? The speed at which we do that when bad things come our way is the lesson, I think. I think that that is the thing that I've been thinking so much about, which is like 10 years ago, when something bad happened to me, it would take me months to get through whatever it was. Think about it. It's like, and as long as the rate that you're getting through those bad things is shortening, that's all you can ask for. That's a win. It's about the progress. It's about looking backwards at the things that have happened and knowing that your ability to navigate those things and bounce back quicker is shortening, because they're going to happen, and it's going to consistently happen without fail forever. So it's like, okay, how do I fortify my position so that I know that the next time some bad things come, that I'm ready for it? What do I need to do? What does my life need to look like? What are the attributes that I need to possess so that I am resilient in the face of great challenge? To me, it's more than obvious. First and foremost, you have to be healthy. You have to have your physical body has to be as healthy and as peak as it possibly can be. And you have to be consistently pushing to increase its capacity all the time, as challenging as it may be. I was just listening to this quote, and it said that winning is hell. Giving up is staying there. So it's like, you know that on the other side of the challenge, you need to be healthy. It's obvious. You know that on the other side of the challenge, you need to have the right mindset. You need to be mentally strong. You have to have mental toughness. You have to be winning on the battlefield of your mind and create that habit where, as you listen to yourself say, you suck, you're not enough, you're the worst, how could you do this? How could you have been so dumb? You made this mistake, or whatever other push down that we put on ourselves. You have to know that in order to win quickly, you have to be in control of that mindset. You have to be able to battle your inner voice and win consistently. So you have to have your health in check, and you have to have your mindset in check. You need to know that you're in control of that voice that tells you how much you suck. What else do you need? You need to be financially insulated. You need to be financially protected, that no matter what happens, you won't go hungry, you won't die, you'll have a roof over your head. You need financial fortitude. You need consistent winning. You need a consistent willingness to be learning. And you need to know that despite whatever happens, that you're going to need your health, you're going to need cash and a fortified financial position, you're going to need the desire to win and educate yourself and grow constantly, and you're going to need to have the skills necessary to attract people and retain people in your life that recognize the greatness of your soul. And if you don't have those people in your life, or they're not in your life as is necessary, then you have to actively be in pursuit of attracting more of those types of people to you, fortifying the relationships that you have by instead of always being the one that gets reached out to, reaching out, creating situations that allow you to further and deepen the relationships that you deem to be valuable. And understand that if you execute at a high level, that you're going to be able to find other people that execute at that level through your pure magnetism. So it's like, create open space for new people, be in control of your mindset, maintain your health, maintain your financial position, understand that you're always going to be willing to learn, that you're always going to have the drive to win, and that no matter what, you'll never give up. And as long as you know all of these things to be true, as long as these are certain truths, as long as these are guaranteed habits that cannot be broken despite any challenge, how could you lose? It's like, what did you lose? It's like, you lost this business deal. That's because there's a greater one coming around the mountain. That's because you identified and your life and the universe realigned you past making that mistake, or it's going to put you in a position that allows you to execute at a higher level that you can't see right now. Oh, you lost that friend. But what were you really gaining from that friend? Was that friend, would have been worse? Wouldn't it have been worse for that friend to be around and be a suck later, for you to be further along in your journey and have to lower from 100 down to 63 or 100 down to 41 or 100 down to 31? Then you get tripped up. Then you're not at 100. Now you're at 97. Wouldn't it have been better if it just naturally adjusted itself right now, despite the fact that sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, that you just have to deal with it right now? It's better now than later. It's a better challenge now than later. It's like getting injured. Nobody wants to get injured. And when you're injured, you can't even remember what it was like to not be injured. But you have to understand that that's going to allow you to be stronger, to make wiser decisions further along in life where that injury would have been far more detrimental to your health. It's going to change the way that you move. It's a lesson to yourself. It's the universe. It's you bringing the value to yourself, because it's never going to be the right time. And all of these things, 100% of these problems are entirely navigable by simply being in control of our mindset. It doesn't mean that you don't go down. It doesn't mean that you don't get frustrated. And it doesn't mean that bad things won't come your way. It just means that your ability to control your mindset when they come will put you in a position to navigate your way through those things and spend more time doing things that are great, attracting things that are great, creating things that are great, and executing at the highest level possible. It doesn't mean that those things aren't going to come. They're going to come. But what we gain in space from loss is all the upside in the world. It's the next thing. It's the better thing. It's what we could not have anticipated existing. And then just like that, it exists. And it especially exists when you've got all the other pieces in line. I've used this example on many occasions. When I was younger, I used to play video games a lot. And I played video games like wrestling video games, boxing video games. And your boxer would start the game with all these different attributes: speed, strength, agility, power, right? Speed, strength, agility, power. When you got points by winning a match, you could put a couple points in each of these buckets. Some people would be like speed, 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 but you'd have no power. Power, 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 but you'd have no speed. Speed, 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 you have no agility, and so forth. It's the ones that fill the buckets proportionally that win. So when you lose a big chunk of speed, you have agility, strength, and power. When you lose a little bit of agility, you have strength, agility, and power. It's like you have all these pieces. It's like your financial position is fortified, your mindset is fortified, your friendship group, your willingness and motivation to win and learn is fortified. You just lost a relationship. You just lost an opportunity. You just lost some cash. You just lost a temporary period of time where you broke your leg. But you have all the other things. Proportionately raising all of these pieces simultaneously so that you're fortified in the event that the next in the event and in preparation for the next downturn to come is how you navigate through that thing faster. It's like by being stronger, by being healthier, you're resisting your ability to get injured, for example. By being stronger and being healthier, in the event that you're in a car accident, your body is more protected and insulated. In the event that you have your money right and there's a global clamdemic, you have cash in the bank, so you're not scrambling. In the event that there's a global health crisis, you've been eating right, working out, exercising, thinking and considering your health. You navigate your way through it because you're fortified. You don't just have money. You don't just have your health. You don't just have whatever. You've got all the things, so that when that one thing comes, the thing you couldn't have anticipated coming, when it comes, you're prepared for it. On March 20th, I was like, I have money in the bank. I prepared for a rainy day. I didn't squander cash on things that I didn't need. I prepared for this. And it allowed me to spend that mental space and that mental energy while other people were scrambling for cash to find ways to succeed in this environment. That's what it means to be fortified and protected for the next downturn. I didn't know there was going to be a rainy day, but I knew there would be one. I didn't know that I would lose that friend, but I knew I would lose one friend. I knew I'd lose someone. I didn't know that I would lose that relationship, but I knew I would lose something. It's like, you don't know, but you got to be prepared. And in that preparation comes removal of doubt. You have confidence. You have fear, but you have no doubt. You have confidence. You may have some fear, but you have no doubt. And when you have no doubt, you're essentially invincible. When you have no doubt for your capacity, when you have no doubt of what you're capable of, when you have no doubt as to whether or not you'll push through this and everything that comes down the line, when you have no doubt, you're not afraid to lose. When you have no doubt, you're not afraid to lose. I feel like life is, in a lot of ways, it's like it flows like water. It will fill wherever it flows down to. And it's like, if you made space in some loss, your other attributes will flow down to balance the equilibrium, will bring you down to even. But if you've got them all wonky and all over the place, it's going to crash down. But if you've got this one at 93, and this one at 95, and this one at 91, and this one at 92, and you lose 10 points in one individual category, it flows down. So it's like, how protected are you and insulated are you for the next challenge? Because it's coming. So that is my thought of the day. Control your mindset, and all of the greatest success that you could ever see will fill the space of the empty that comes as a result of a challenge. Because the challenges will come, the down will come, the loss will come, but the greatness will replace it. Because you have no doubt. Because you have the confidence to know that you won't give up, that you are built for this, that this is part of the game, that this is all part of the challenge, and that there's nothing but wins ahead. And when you look back on whatever it is that occurred, at whatever adversity that came your way, you'll be prepared for it. Especially because you know how quickly you were able to handle the last one. 10 years ago, it took me months. Then it started taking me a month, then weeks, then a couple weeks, and it just keeps getting shorter because there's no doubt. Because you've been preparing for this, because you've been preparing for everything. Now, what happens through all this? What are the things that happen now as you navigate through all these problems? You can really instill a lot of change in other people. As you get better at whatever it is that you're trying to navigate through, you can help other people move through that challenge at a faster clip. You can provide more value externally to the world as a result of you bettering yourself. All of these lessons that I'm getting now, I'm able to move through them quicker because people that have done it before me have taken their precious time to educate me about how they got through it. That they said, stop being a baby. This is just a test. This is just a game. This is all part of the plan. Trust the plan, bro. This is the game. It's like, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that really will twist your bag. What if I told you that you would rather have it no other way? What if I told you that it could be possible that all of this is just a game? What if I told you that this quite possibly and almost certainly is a simulation intended to help your soul evolve? What if I told you that that is what this actually was? What if I told you that in life there is no beginning and there is no end? It never started and it never ends. The purpose of life is to evolve. The purpose of your soul is one that has existed permanently. And as you navigate through your purpose in life, which is to evolve, what you have done is taken a variety of different forms, whether it be a grasshopper, a flower, a tree, a bush, a person, a man, a baby, a woman, a mother, a father, a son, a cousin, an uncle, a prisoner, a president, a dictator, a person that suffers, a poor person, a rich person, a middle ground person, or whatever. What if I told you that this is one of many iterations put here to educate your soul on how to be the best it could possibly be? What if I told you that the purpose of life was to evolve and that this is just part of the lesson, that this is just part of you accelerating to the highest possible capacity? And what if I told you that other people that navigated through this game before us, what if I told you that those people eventually get to a point where they unlock the truth to such a level that they become a guide? That their challenge, that their game now is to help elevate other people through that. And what if I told you that every single thing that you could have ever known, and every single amazing thing, and every single piece of beauty, and every single challenge that ever came your way was all part of some grand design where there was spirits that were guiding you, your life, your education, your evolution, so that all of this can go to one greater, one higher version of all of ourselves collectively, and that was the purpose of life. And as you navigate through, the more that you learn, the more you can help, the more good you can give back, the greater the world will be, the greater souls will be, the greater life on earth will be, the more souls will be able to be created and essentially into this fray, and more love and more power and more beauty will be there existing in perpetuity till the end of time. Not that it won't be without struggle, not that it won't be without challenge, but these are all just part of the collective soul healing itself, educating itself, and expanding. Without expansion, without growth, there is only death. So wouldn't it make sense that the universe is expanding, that the human consciousness is expanding, that everything is growing, and that all of this is collective creation of new souls, education of souls, growth of the collective humanity, so that all of us can live a life of pure bliss, so that there can be more love in the world, more learning in the world, a greater collective of more people that are experiencing all of this greatness. And then we just bring more and more souls into the fray. And then you get to a point where you've navigated through a series of many lives, where you've educated yourself and evolved to a point where you can help many, many others, where you can guide many, many souls through the journey of life as they go. Protect the ones that need it from adversity. Protect the ones that need it from a car accident that happened a split second and spared your life. From a disease that happened in a split second, it could have been you. From a birth that you were born, and you could have been born in Uganda. You could have been born in Nairobi. You could have been born in Australia. You could have been born into poverty. You could have been born in the middle of nowhere. And that would have been just the right place for you to learn whatever you needed to learn so that you could advance yourself through to the highest possible version. And what if I told you that this opportunity and that this life that you have right now is so divinely beautiful that if you could only take a second to understand the significance and greatness of just this very moment and this very second and this very life that you have been gifted to live, and if you could just harness the absolute greatness of the fact that you're alive in this very right moment and learning these very right things to move you forward through a continued life of more and more greatness, and what you could do with it if only you had the discipline to control how you move through this life and be the highest and greatest version of yourself. What if I told you that that's the meaning of life? What if I told you that that's everything? It's like, what if I told you that? It's like, because I just told you that. I don't know, it's like, come on, I don't know, maybe, but I don't know, but maybe, but I don't know, but maybe, probably, I don't know, but maybe. It's like, so it's like, so when you put all these things into perspective, you're just like, wait, what do you mean I lost something? Oh, I didn't lose anything. I got just the right thing. That's so, it's like sick. It's like, what a beautiful thing, Pop, Like, what a beautiful thing this is. And like, we're all trying to like put like labels. It's like, what is it? It's this, it's that, label. Like what, like who, if somebody doesn't know, like I see the world like this, but nobody else sees it. So it can't be that way. It's like, what if I told you that your experience is yours alone? You don't know to what degree anybody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. And this is all for you so that you can live a life rich with love. What if I told you that? So, I mean, I don't know. I believe in, what I believe is what I believe. Anybody can believe whatever they want, right? But I don't know what this is. I'm just doing the best I can to navigate it. But a couple years after my brother died, I went to a medium. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, let me just see. Let's go to this medium. It was $150. It's like, I'm going to go to this medium. I'm just going to figure out what it is. And at this medium, she tells me, she's like communicating with my brother. That's who I wanted to talk to. And she's like, she basically said that he goes, what if I told you that we decided for it to be this way? What if I told you that we knew that this was how it would have to be? What if I told you that we have lived, myself and my brother, many lives before this one, where we were friends, mother and father, son and daughter maybe, or father and son, coworkers, acquaintances, neighbors, and in this particular life, we decided to be brothers. What if I told you that we decided for it to be this way? And what if I told you that we decided that I would go and figure out what this was, and you would stay here and communicate it through? What if I told you that that's what we decided? And I was like, what did you say now? What now? With the what now? What did you say? I was like, what? And as time has gone on, I think of the inherent wisdom and the depth of understanding that has come from my brother in his short life and that message alone. And it's like, it all makes sense now, you know? And 5 years later, when I was ready at just the right time on August 20th, 2020, the day that was significant to us, at the very right moment, at the very right time, at the very right second, I made just the right video at just the right moment, at just the right second, and this whole thing created itself. Wouldn't that be funny if that's what actually happened? Because that's what happened. What if I told you that on August 20th, 2020, when I shot the first video that blew up for me, that created this entire audience, what if I told you that I shot that entire video in my stories, and when I finished it, I was like, that's going to be hilarious. Maybe one of the funniest ones I've ever done, but I guess we'll see. What if I told you that at the end of that story, every single one of the stories failed to post? This had happened in my Instagram stories before, and I was so discouraged. And I was like, that was a real good rip, because I literally just did it like on the rip. I was like, boom, post, one take all the way through. I was running around this office, and I was like, huh, huh. And I sat down and I looked at it, and every story failed to post. And I kept hitting repost, try to repost. And I was like, yo, come on, man. And right when I was about to give up, I was like, let me just cancel them. Like, it's just lost. Like, whatever. It doesn't even matter. Who even cares? I was like, nah, let me leave it. Let me just leave it. Let me just let it go. I put my phone down right here on this desk, and I kept working on websites. My stories at the time were getting like 250 views maybe per story. I looked at it like 3 hours later, and my stories had been viewed like 850 times. And I was like, word. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. So I was like, let me make this into a video. Let me compress it down to a video so I don't lose it at the 24 hours. So I merged all the clips together. I saved it as a video. I posted the video, and I shared it to my story. And I said, hey, if you thought my story was funny today, if you saw my story, share this video. I never asked anybody to share anything. I was like, just share this video. When I woke up the next morning, my average video would get like maybe 250 views. When I woke up the next morning, I had 3,000 new followers, and the video had 16,000 views. By 9 p.m. that day, the video had 35,000 views. And by the time I woke up the next morning, it had over 55,000 views, and I had like nearly 5,000 followers. I quit building websites within 2 weeks of that time. I started repositioning my life towards doing this full time. And because I had prepared and built investments, financial backing, a wide range of knowledge, experience, entrepreneurial mindset, gotten all my ducks in a row, when the opportunity presented itself, I could seize it. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a video every day until the election, and I'll see what happens. We'll see. I started making a video every day. 16 days later, I got a message from Andy Frisella. I got a DM from Andy Frisella. As I was in Vegas doing my first podcast, I had flown to Vegas to do my first podcast. And I was in the airport, about to go on the way home, and I got a DM from Andy Frisella. And I was like, what now? And he's like, yo, I got to get you on the show. Big fan. And I was like, what is it now? And I was like, yo, this is about to happen. 5 months later, I was in St. Louis at First Form headquarters recording the podcast with Andy Frisella. Arguably one of the top 20 most significant motivational speakers in the entire world. Owner of a huge supplement brand, highly successful individual, high operating individual. 16 days. Got that message. It's like, this project is not even a year. It's August 4th. This happened on August 20th, 2020. That's preparation. That's seizing opportunity. That's divinity. That's belief. That's lack of doubt. And it's not about me. This is not an expose on how great I am. It's a lesson. So it's like, there's nothing that I'm doing that anybody else can't do. A lot of the stuff that I'm saying, I'm learning as we speak. I was listening to his podcast today. I was listening to an audiobook yesterday, that I got some of these quotes from, that I got some of this knowledge from. I've been thinking through and navigating through a challenge in my own life and a variety of challenges in my own life with certain things, trying to figure out, how am I going to get through to the end of this? And as soon as I realized what I needed to realize, I was just like, here it is. So now when I have these realizations, when I hear these things that I feel like are valuable, I just put them, broadcast them, see what value we can bring to other people, help move the other people along, right? Including myself, reiterating the things to myself and also to all of you. And then what happens as a result of that? Think about all the good that happens as a result. Think about all the good that comes as a result of me putting it back. Now, doesn't it just make sense that that's what these spirits are, what these spirit guides are? There's a couple different books like Many Lives, Many Masters, Life After Death by Deepak Chopra. There's a variety of different books that talk about these things. I'm not here to communicate to you what you need to know as it relates to that stuff. That's for you to determine. It could be whatever you want. And who knows what's true? The answer is nobody knows what's true. We just think we know what's true. Some people are like, it's this book. Some people are like, it's this book. Some people are like, it's this religion. Some people like this religion. But what if I told you that, like I said, the purpose of life is to evolve. The purpose for all of us is that we inherently help each other. A baby, an infant baby, inherently knows and wants to help others in its instinctually. There are scientific tests to prove this. You have a baby that's sitting there and somebody drops a pencil and the baby tries to reach for the pencil to give you the pencil. It's naturally, instinctively in our DNA and our bodies to help one another. Why would that be? The reason that would be is because our collective evolution is the good of all. Our collective evolution, the evolution of humanity, is the goal. That's the game. That's life. Everything get better. Evolve. That's the game. Evolve and expand. That's the meaning of life. That's the key to life. That is what life is. Our giving back helps the collective. The collective grows. It rewards us. And in the exact same way that a local community works is the exact same way that the world works as a whole. If I have a local business that does good business, it could be something as simple as a local breakfast place. When I run my breakfast place, do I smile at the people that come in? Do I run a great operation? Do I buy healthy products? Do I stay open and help people out? Do I give an extra smile on someone's birthday? Do I buy the cheaper coffee or the better coffee? Do I enhance my community by giving back to it good? The person that goes into the coffee shop or goes into the restaurant, the breakfast place, works harder at work. They output more at work. They do a better job teaching school children that day in school. Those kids grow up with more value because they had a guy or gal that went to breakfast at a diner and got a smile, and then they go to school and they teach better, and they teach with more joy. That joy and that love translates to the kids. The kids pass that love on to each other. The love of the kids and the joy goes back to the parents. It's back in the home. It cultivates, it circulates. They give back. It goes back through the cycle. It's the person on the street. It's the mailman. It's the FedEx guy. Do you shovel your walkway in the snow so that the UPS guy can get up to the door without slipping? Because if you don't and he slips and he hurts himself, it costs UPS. They go to the doctor. They're sad. They're depressed. They can't go to their kid's birthday party. It ripples down or it ripples up. It's all this give back. It's all this give and take. Each individual decision that we make moment to moment, day to day, the way that we think about all things in and of itself objectively changes the world. The way you control what happens in here happens out here. What happens out here moves outward. It hits everyone around you. It hits here. It goes through and ripples through it all. And that single thing, this first, changes the entire world. You want to change the world, change yourself. You want to change the world, make your bed. You want to change everything around you, fix this, control the mindset. It starts and it cooks outward. All great things come from that. All great things come from mindset first. All great things come from a thought, a decision, and a lack of doubt that you'll be able to execute at a high level forever. Winning is a habit. Success is a mindset. The key to life is to evolve. And winning forever starts and ends in your mind. Our ability to recognize and execute on that very basic and simple truth will determine how far and how high we'll be able to get in this particular iteration of our soul. This flesh vehicle carrying our soul. That's it. Yo, I said I was going to bring it today. Did I bring it? Drop me a lizard. Somebody drop me a lizard in the comments. If I brought the love, or hit me with a thumbs up, or hit me with a lizard, or right lizard, or just something. Did I supply what I said I would supply? Thank you. You're welcome, Judy. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Russell. Appreciate it. Awesome. I feel better. I hope that you feel better too. It's just like when I think about the significance that the mindset has over the day-to-day, it just always brings me back to equilibrium, where I'm like, yo, like, what are you doing, dude? It's like, come on, like, let's go. Like, let's go. Like, what are we doing? It's like, and I feel like one of the simplest and easiest ways to escape from any rut or any down is to just do something that moves you up. And to me, it's the easiest thing. It's like if it's like a Saturday and I'm bumming out, or a Sunday and I'm bumming out, or a Wednesday or whatever it is, I'm just like, go to the gym, because I've never gone to the gym and left and been like, oh man. It's like I've never done that. So it's like, to me, it's like a guaranteed lock. Or like, go walk the dog, go take a walk, go sit in the sun. It's like it's like the answer's always there. It's always there in the betterment. It's always there in the success. It's always there in the elevation up, So, I want to thank everybody that bought the badges. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. Chi-Chi8, thank you so much. Sean 87 Callahan, thank you so much. I keep seeing the same names over and over again. I hope you guys know how much I appreciate that. Tiffany CKP, Lindsay Leanna 17, Chooks Official, Anna Maria, Mark Life, Jennifer A 0107, Awin J, Life After Breast Implants, Boop's Partner, and Amy Lynn 117. Thank you guys so much for the badges. I really appreciate it. I will most definitely be posting this entire live stream up on the Instagram, and I will definitely be posting it on Facebook and on YouTube as well. If you do not follow me on YouTube, please go and follow me on YouTube. All my links are on bobbysauce.com in the footer. Links to the Facebook, to the YouTube, the whole game. Join the Facebook group, We Take Naps. And guys, I want you to know how much I appreciate your precious time and attention. I want you to know how much joy and value that I get from doing this. And it just brings a great deal of purpose into my life that I was otherwise unsure how it would come. And it's yet another lesson in this whole game that I've learned is that, and I've told this story before, but it was real significant. When I started building websites in 2007, I built websites using HTML code. This is actually a pretty interesting story. In 2007, I started building websites, and I built them with HTML code. I started before 2007, but let's just whatever. Let's go there. In 2007, I started building them as a career. 2006, 2007 time as a career. And I used to build websites by using HTML code. I would literally handwrite HTML code by hand. Caret, HTML, close caret. Caret, body, close caret. Caret, P, close caret. Words, caret, slash, whatever. I used to write HTML code by hand. It was very difficult. In 2009 and 2008 time, I realized that in order for me to get better, I had to find a better way. This was taking too long. And I started using a piece of software called Macromedia Dreamweaver, which allowed me to take snippets of code and then take that code and copy and paste it over and over again. Use other things like, thank you for I just saw 2 Venmos come in. Thank you so much, guys, for the Venmo. I really appreciate that. Robin and Lana or Lena, thank you so much. So I started writing code using this piece of software called Dreamweaver. It allowed me to build websites a whole lot faster and easier. By 2010, I had moved to Florida. I got down here and I realized that people were building websites better and faster than me for less money. And I was so frustrated by the fact that I couldn't figure out how to build these websites at an expeditious rate. I got really frustrated. I got kicked into the dirt. I was really low. And I was so frustrated. And I wrote this blog post about it that I've talked about on here before, where I was basically I went to sleep crying one night thinking that I just totally failed. I woke up the next morning and I had that resilience where I was like, I got to do this. I can't ever give up. I can't give up. Just get back in the game. You're going to figure it out. That day, I discovered WordPress. WordPress is a content management system that allowed me to build websites 5 times faster, 10 times better in a fraction of the time, and for 3 or 4 times as much money. So I was building websites that I would charge $1,500 for, that would take me a week and a half to 2 weeks to build. And now I could charge $3,000 for a website that would take me a couple of days to build. And just like that, my life changed. I went from a crying mess to being destroyed by the failure to getting back up, being resilient, and finding a tool that ultimately that I used for many years after that. 3 years later, I realized that this tool was only going to be able to get me so far. And I couldn't figure out how I was wasting so much time building different websites with different themes. And I found one theme. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get proficient at this one theme. And I'll get very good at this one type of theme. And I'll use this theme as a template, as a structure, as a framework that I'll build every website from. And because I use one structure, all my design skills, I'll be able to build all these websites faster, better, stronger, and for more money. So now the sites that would take me 5 days to build for $3,000, I could build in 2 days for $5,000. And just like that, it switched again. And I leveled up from this very long struggle from all of this getting kicked in the dirt. Fast forward. In August of 2020, on, I believe it was like maybe July 28th or August 1st, the theme that I had been using to build every single website that had elevated my business to the next level for years, 6 or 7 years, I woke up one morning and WordPress, the content management that I build websites on, did what's called deprecating jQuery. What that means is they basically took a function that this website structure used in order for me to build every single website, and they turned it off like that. And I woke up one morning and every single website that I had built lost its functionality. Every single one. My ability to build a website in hours for thousands of dollars was gone like that. And I had to restart from scratch and learn a new theme. I could do this. I could use this theme inside out, upside down, my hands tied behind my back. The reason that I tell this story is on August 1st of this year, of 2020, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to start from scratch. I got to figure out what this is. And I was very worried. I was extremely concerned that this would be yet another kick in the face. After all these years of doing it, after all these years of figuring out how to do it, I could do this thing left, right, upside down, my hands tied behind my back, and just like that, it's gone overnight. I couldn't believe it. I was like heartbroken. I scrambled. I went to the guy that developed the theme. Can you make me a patch? Can you help me fix this? He just didn't respond. And I was like, my back was up against the wall. I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm totally screwed. Like literally, it's like you used a hammer your whole life and then they stopped making hammers. And like the blueprints for like how to make a hammer were lost forever. It was like, I couldn't believe it. The reason I tell the story is from August 1st to August 20th of 2020, I was extremely concerned about how I was going to get to the next phase of life, what it would be. And I did a lot of soul searching to try to figure out what I could do to get myself to the next level in the same way that I had multiple times before to get myself elevated to the next piece. I didn't know what it would be, but I knew that I just had to keep filling the buckets, educating myself, thinking, having fun, having the right mindset, and getting myself elevated as the time went along. And I was extremely concerned. And within 19 days, that first video hit. And it was like a sign. And I was like, there it is. That's it right there. That's it. I didn't know how. I didn't know when. I didn't know why. But I knew it would come. Whatever it was, I knew that it would be there. As long as I had the mindset, had no doubt, would never give up, and was willing to push until an opportunity presented itself that showed me just the right angle that I could seize it and run with it forever. And that's what I saw. And you better believe that there will come a time in the future that there will be another challenge. It could be now, it could be tomorrow, it could be a week from now, a month from now, and a year from now. But the point is that being fortified in preparation of that next challenge and knowing that you won't give up and knowing that you'll succeed through it despite it, is how all of the greatest things have happened. And I could not have anticipated this. I couldn't have seen this coming. I just knew that something would present itself. And if there was an opportunity, I would work really hard to seize it. That's it. So that's the lesson. That's the message. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. That's why I'm so gifted I'm so honored that I have the ability to spend this time with you guys on a random Tuesday and do the thing that I love to do. So I'm thrilled by it. I'm just reading some of the comments now. Thank you, Michelle, on Facebook. Appreciate it. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mark Life. Appreciate that. Thank you, Christina, on Facebook. Thank you, Judy, on Facebook. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jennifer. The world is still garbage. Life is good. The world is garbage. Thank you, Hammer BJJ. Appreciate that. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Chris, and Facebook. Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Lena, for the Venmos. I appreciate that so much. Thanks to everybody that got the badges. I really appreciate that. The new one, I think it was Carol Wem that just got one a second ago. Thank you so much for that. Guys, I appreciate you so much. Execute. Have no doubt. Life happens for us, not to us. We're going to keep winning. The mindset is the game. The mindset is everything. If we can only get a better control of the mindset, we will win in perpetuity forever. You can't lose. All you can do is get lessons. So I appreciate you so much. If you got value from this, please consider sharing it. Please consider sharing it on Facebook. Share it on YouTube. Tell people, DM it to people, share the Instagram. If you got any value at all, please tag your friends. Let them know that the channel exists. Tell them why it's great. Don't just tag them. Tell them why. Leave a comment. Let them know how much. Let them know how much you got. Let them know how much value you got from it. Thanks to everybody that left the donations. I really appreciate that so much. Thanks so much to Chooks, who's been a huge supporter. Thanks so much to Anna Maria, who's been a huge supporter, and to all the people that buy badges. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks to everybody on YouTube, on Facebook, and thanks to everybody on Instagram. Thanks for sharing my content, and thanks so much for the love. Thanks for everybody that's been buying stuff on BobbySauce.com. I really do appreciate that. It makes all the difference. My new phone should be coming today, so I'll be back on the regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. It's been a good couple days to just think about things and recalibrate. And I knew I had to come and bring the heat today. So I appreciate all you guys so much. And thank you so much for the love. It is palpable. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. I'm really enjoying it so much. And I hope that it's bringing value to you. So like I said, if you enjoyed this, if you got value from it, please tell your friends about it. Please share it. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook. Throw a like up there. Throw a subscribe. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/WeTakeNaps. Follow me on Instagram. And tell your friends. Tag your friends in the video. Tag your friends on Facebook. Share the YouTube. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you, guys. Have an awesome day. Kill it out there. And let's get it. Facebook and YouTube. I'll see you later.